Stocks in Asia had a mixed start for the week, with major markets closed for a holiday and global inflation concerns resurfacing. Markets in Japan and China are shut for holidays. Kospi was flat while Australian markets were up around 0.5% in trade. If you look at the US indices, the US stocks dropped from a record on Friday, with economic data showing potential inflation pressures and hawkish remarks coming in from Federal Reserve official. For the month, the Dow has added 2.4%, the S&P 500 gained 5.6%, and Nasdaq has jumped nearly around 7%. This is for the month. In fact, Fed president said on Friday that he believes it's time to discuss tapering the central bank's asset purchases, breaking ranks with Chairman Jerome Powell. The yield of the 10-year Treasuries was little changed at 1.63%. Dow on Friday was down 0.54% at 33,875, while the S&P was down close to around 0.7%. Nasdaq was down close to around 0.8% in trade. If you look at the Europe markets, the European stocks ended lower on Friday after dismal GDP data, but marked a third straight month of gains on strong corporate earnings and optimism about an economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. STOXX 600 index fell close to around 0.3%, hovering below its all-time high and ending the month at 1.8% higher. AstraZeneca jumped 4.3% as the British drugmaker posted better than expected results and forecast second half growth. Banking stocks did come under pressure slightly on Friday as Eurozone bond yields eased from their highest level since January of 2020. Data showed that the Eurozone economy dipped into a second technical recession after a smaller than expected contraction in the first quarter, but is now set for recovery as pandemic curbs have been lifted amid accelerating vaccination campaigns. In fact, DAX was down close to around 0.1%, while CAC was down 0.5%, and FTSE was flat on Friday. If you look at the oil prices, well, the WTI crude fell close to around 2.3% to $64 a barrel. Oil prices slipped on Friday, taking a breather after touching their highest in the 6 weeks as economic recovery and bullish summer fuel demand outlook thus outweighing the concerns of wider lockdowns in countries like India and Brazil, which have been put in order to curb the COVID-19 pandemic. Gold was flat at $1,768 an ounce.